Okay, apparently everything looks and sounds okay, so let's get back to it. This is Nitrous Overdose. Things are, well, they're looking better than they have been. The Ottomans are off our back, at least for a wee bit, even though they have their militarist ruler. We managed to crush Russia in the face, even though things weren't looking so good. Since Russia had eaten up a good chunk of Commonwealth, we have since managed to get it back. And with some strategic peace deals, we haven't quite ensured that Russia and Ottomans won't ally again, but we've certainly driven something between them. It's only the Russians that are friendly towards the Ottomans, but there's now a conflict of interest just over these dirt pieces of land. But it's a conflict nonetheless, and that's something that we're going to have to try to pry upon. The Ottomans enjoy an alliance with Hassa and Brunei. It's not really our concern, although it does tell us that the Ottomans are down here, expanding their ever-fattening amount of base tax, which is just terrifying. Then there are the Russians, who are expanding somewhat peacefully their own way through Siberia. Not a big deal, it's not the greatest of land over there. But Russia and Ottomans are still the two strongest in the world. Well over 500,000 men between the two of them. Wow, France is actually pretty far down the rankings as far as large armies go. And it doesn't matter because we have the rule about not allying France, even though it is very much within the realms of possibility right now. Petros is asking me if I've done one faith. No, it seems like a very not exciting achievement, so I have not gone for that. So if my memory is working today, and sometimes it does, we just finished a big old war with Denmark, and we grabbed a whole chunk of land out of it. And we finally got ourselves a northern coastline, which means I can happily go and no-CB Finland. Because, you know, this is where all the Hungarians are, and we need to remove them. Yeah, things haven't been going quite according to plan in the removing Hungarians part. Or maybe it is just part of my plan and I haven't figured it out yet. We need to get these 4 provinces and culturally enrich them to the ways of the Slovak. Just having a quick look over, we've got... ooh, that's a very nice policy to have going, since improved relations will help us out in a big way. And the best Republican tradition there is going. We still get ravaged by religious issues because there are still these centers of reformation digging into us. And our subject Brandenburg, who we're integrating, but hey, that's their own problems, right? Jake, did my eyes lie? I was at France allied with Great Britain. The greatest Britain. We have GB, Commonwealth, and the France all allied together, so that makes 3 great powers, and I still don't think the 3 of them could take down the Ottomans, partially because one of them is big old useless Great Britain sitting over there. So what I do have to do is get my army up and functional again, but really there's nothing we have to worry about right now. So I'm going to let the clock tick by. We're going to integrate this land. I am probably going to forget about this fort, I can see that happening. I'll turn it off anyway. We'll get a warning if people want to rebel. And we can finally rival the Ottomans. They have 401% stronger army. I'm sure that's going to come in handy. And now we can humiliate them. Yeah, we'll get right on that, I'm sure. The burghers will always be demanding land, but we simply don't give in to their demands. They're just too much since we're a republic. I don't want to have to give in to that. Aggressive expansion is still fairly high within the HRE. I don't want to fart in the wrong direction here. Nonetheless, I really don't like the existence of Lubeck here. They keep getting in the way. And wow, what an enormous Netherlands breaking out of Burgundy. Like, huge! Burgundy barely exists anymore. Could be one of the first times we see a Netherland revolt against Burgundy that really kicks off. And kicks them in their teeth as well. That would be nice. Manly Mantua has also come back in a big way. And I would love to be their friend again, but they hate me because I tossed them down the river quite a long time ago. They've got a -28 because of trust. Still, I think we should keep our relations pretty high with them. And try to seek out an alliance because, well, the Italians always do me in. So it would be rather nice if they could do in the Ottomans as well. Jake, I had a useful Great Britain in my campaign. Do you want a save file for a bug report? Yeah, that's a pretty critical bug. Great Britain is not allowed to be useful. Protect our brethren in Gaul. I get tricked by that all the freaking time. Would quite like Great Britain to like us, so we'll go for that. I'm also very happy to see that Commonwealth just broke up with Denmark. I don't want them being all chummy because Denmark is holding on to a lot of delicious base tax that is rightfully ours. We're working on it, and we're getting there. That's the ongoing joke, you know, we're meant to be fighting the Ottomans to take back the Hungarian lands and purge them of all Hungarians. But the Ottomans have just been getting stronger and stronger. Just look at that force limit of 426. Our force limit, we got a probably scroll to see. Look at that, 75. If there were 5 Nitras, we'd be able to take on the Ottomans. But alas, there are not. Which makes it kind of difficult to suss out how we're going to deal with these guys. Technologically, they stay very much on par. In fact, they are more technologically advanced than we are. Aye. Leaving me wondering what to do about that. I often say that once I get 2 stacks at my command, I am unstoppable. But the Ottomans would stop me pretty hard. Pretty damn hard. Jake, just wondering, has there been a lot of work on performance? Playing 1.10 right now, it's a hell of a lot slower. Performance gets done now and then along development, because as we add things, they are obviously going to eat into their performance. So I've got to brush up on those from time to time. Can't really go into the details of it, but we do, is what I'm saying. Now, it shouldn't take long to consume Brandenburg. In fact, it won't even take 10 years, since our diplomatic reputation is through the roof. And it's only going to get better when I shake this overextension that we have hanging over us, courtesy of Lübeck. I'm also wondering if Lübeck might just give us the strength to have it worthwhile to collect over there. I will likely need Hamburg, Bremen, and Schelland to make the most of that. Boy, would I like to. Apparently I have, I still have a whole bunch of spy network on you. I must have stopped doing that a while back. It cannot be denied, I do want your land, Denmark. But what do I want the most? Well, it is Schelland, there's no doubt about that, but I should probably work my way over first. You know, whatever's best. Holstein would be quite nice. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, I shouldn't have done that since Brandenburg already had a claim on that. Well, good luck, Brandenburg. Jake, will there ever be a 2.0.0 patch in EU4? Unlikely. Big numbers are good, as I remember Wiz saying quite a long time ago. There's not much left of the Livonian Order. They were kind of a good ally back in the day, but I sold them out to keep Commonwealth happy and huge. I want to keep the Commonwealth from being my enemy, so we've been bumping up that trust very nicely. And Manly Mantua's trust will very slowly go back. It's a shame because we built up all those favours. I wish I could have built up trust along with it. The urge to know CB Finland is really high. Getting there might be a touch tricky. But those are minor details, right? At least we get some sailors now, can make some boats for all the use that's going to be. Honestly, I would like to be eating up the centre of the HRE here. Manly Mantua is on our side. There's conversion to be doing. And I've been playing so much on 120 lately that it feels kind of odd to be back on 119. Okay, so the Commonwealth is asking for our help against Riga. I can understand why. I too would need some help against Riga. Don't keep calling me in against my allies, you numpty. I have to choose between the Commonwealth and Trier. You know, the nice thing about Trier, they were a really handy ally. The trouble is, Commonwealth is better. Well, they're not calling us in for anything really, but it does mean I have to fight them. Better get all my forts activated. In fact, I better get all of my forts activated and start paying my army, which I really didn't want to have to use right now because I'm still drinking up these mercs. time to think of Trier as somebody that you eat. Ain't that the truth? Well, I can't turn down the Commonwealth because they are keeping me alive. Either that or I start thinking of the Commonwealth as someone to eat, but they're allied with France, which is just a touch scary. So, oh well, I guess we're enemies now, Trier. Isn't that fun? Well, what isn't so fun is he's just marching through my lands right now, and there's little I can do about it. But I do have 4 shock on my side. You know what they say about shock? It doesn't come first. I would set this land as vital interest, but I'd be scared of actually getting it and then just having a huge HRE coalition, so never mind that. Never mind that the Netherlands are... not doing so hot. Oh well, nice thing is that the Commonwealth can go and fight. Not so nice thing is having my subject just attached to me like this, so what will I do, huh? Honestly, I'd like to just get rid of my mercs since they're so expensive right now. Trying to save up money, not Voska it all away. But it's okay, for my invaluable assistance, I'm sure the Commonwealth will give us loads of everything. However, I'm not going to keep standing in the way here. I hear Berlin's nice this time of year. Republican tradition is really nice. I don't have any use for it right now, though. And this guy is still a wee bit away from having his re-election. So, acquitted you shall be, and I don't want to have that corruption. It's very rare for me to actually pick the acquitted option. I love rolling in Republican tradition. Especially when you're making 1.53 of it a year, soon to be 1.73. Jake, if you annex everyone in the HRE, who's going to coalition you? France, Spain, Ottomans, Mantua, Great Britain, Denmark, and maybe even the Commonwealth, just for a laugh. That is who is going to coalition me. Bah, why even pay my units right now? I don't have money to be wasting like that. At least we're doing alright on the institutions, and when it becomes manufactory o'clock, we should also be good. I threw a lot of money away in that Danish war. However, we got plenty of manufactories already. Yeah, well, I thought I would have had one here. Guess not. Probably gonna have to think of something to get rid of there just to make space for one. So I have every confidence that you're gonna manage to eat up Riga. A bigger, fatter Commonwealth will help me out in the long run, though. Yeah, look at them just eat up Trier for me. You know, it might be nice to just have one of these provinces. Then again, it's twice as expensive for us since we were calling in. Paging Jake, you have established Sunday School's decision for +1 missionary strength. I do, but I'm actually not keen on getting the lower tolerance of heretics right now. I've got quite a few +1 missionary... Oh, right. That's the one. Cheers for the heads up. You obviously knew what you were talking about there. Whereas I clearly did not. So Bremen's out. We got those guys out individually, so it wouldn't be too much of a biggie to take them on again, but I have no Cassus, which does get in the way of things. It's Hamburg that I'd frankly rather be taking on right now. So I'm hoping that our good friend Brandenburg slaps down a claim on it. Brandenburg is worth so much strength over in the Lübecker trade node. Alright, Livonian Order is now gone from the map. What of Trier, though? Man, okay, well, I thought I had a load of trust and favors built up with them, but I guess I was completely wrong. It's going to take a long time for Mantua to forgive me for everything I did. I would love to ally them, but it's not looking so easy. Just a reminder that this man actually works on this game. Well, Aelish, remembering everything about this game is kinda tough. Maybe I should be grabbing those lands back. That is some precious development that we shouldn't just be letting fall by the wayside. Jake, what's the plan for tomorrow's MP? Befriending Starnham forever or something special? Probably just crash and burn. Probably. Because it doesn't look pretty for me. But I'm keeping that out of my head for now. Alright, glad to see we're getting all the money we deserve out of this. 4 ducats from Frankfurt. And oh my, they called in France as well. The same France who would be happy to ally me, and I would be happy to ally him if it weren't for our little rule of thou shalt not ally the big blue blob. I would say that rule's going to get me killed one day, but I dare say it already has a few times. Think of all the times I've been at war and an alliance with France would have saved me. Like those first Manipur wars, right? Who do you think is doing best so far in the MP, except yourself, of course? The Islanders together are doing really good, but that's just because they're sitting around not fighting. They're living very peacefully. Very, very peacefully. Okay, Trier wants my land, and well, with 16 cannons, they're very likely just to slap over and take it. But the Commonwealth are on call. They'll take care of them. They got the defensive woods as well. Maybe I'll just throw in some units to show that we're part of it. Rush in saying, we're helping. Fast as you can, lads. There's precious war participation to be had. They saw us coming and ran. Typical Triers. Alright, better pay somewhat attention to that. The Ulmers wish to rise up. I can't be getting those converted just yet. I could just increase autonomy and not have to deal with them. I could also not just let my mercs get killed. But there are lots of ifs and buts here. Jake, you should go for getting Jampur destroyed then. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about the MP today. That takes up enough of the workday as it is. There, I can just chill out with my Nitra. You know, this is meant to be the lovely, short, relaxing game. This is a little curious, though. The Ottomans under occupation from Venice. In fact, they're working on Oyen or Bess? Bech? I don't even know. Maybe I don't want to know. But that does tell me that the Ottomans hunger for yet more land. Soon they're going to be on Mantua's front door. That might help me in securing an alliance with them, but they still don't trust me as far as they can throw me. Difficult to blame them for that, but really. Soon, very soon, I'll have an army again. Right, I knew they'd go for Ulm, however my allies could, would and should take those down, so I'm not particularly concerned. Also, why don't I just let Brandenburg do his own thing? I'll let corruption do its own thing. Ouch. Well, at least I can get my alliance back with Trier. I certainly was in no hurry to be losing it. And it doesn't look like Trier lost anything either. Wait, were they told to return these provinces? I certainly didn't pay attention. Nah. Alright, well, it's good to have a friend like you around, so stay by my side, please. And as expected, my ally, not ally, goes and deals with those accursed rebels for me. See, the system works. I can't remember what stacks I was using here. So 12 to 12? Maybe I had it set up here. This is why I shouldn't stop playing for any length of time. Or maybe I'll just lose all of my templates if I ever even use them.